Welcome back. A lot to get to today in our Commitment 2022 coverage. Once again, we're in the home stretch as the candidates are fighting for your vote ahead of the May primary. And Dr. Marissa Grayson, political science professor at Stanford University, joins us again today to talk about a couple of these races. Dr. Grayson, thank you for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
So we've got to talk about the governor's race because, we've got, under 50 days now to go until voters head to the polls. Let's talk about the GOP side. Where does that race stand today?
Well, I think that Governor Ivey is feeling pretty confident in her lead right now. I think the question for her is if there will be a runoff. And she, of course, is trying everything she can to make sure that won't happen. She's trying to win over the Trump supporters. Just today, she came out with a new ad talking about the election being stolen, which is stronger language than we've heard from her in the past, and really trying to pit people's concerns on the Biden administration and not her.
You mentioned she's trying to avoid that runoff. She wants to hit that 50% mark to avoid going to a June runoff. She did that last time when she was up against several candidates. With a field this large, is it more difficult to do that and to get the 50 plus to move on?
Potentially. Just because the field's large doesn't mean that everyone's aware of all the candidates. So I think when you hear people talk about the race, they really only focus on 3 candidates in that discussion. So even though it's large, she still is polling well as far as people being favorable of her, and others are not as well known.
What issues do you expect to be discussed in the weeks that lead up to this election?
Yeah, great question. One of the things that we've seen Lindy Blanchard and Tim James really focusing on is the price of gas and repealing the gas tax increase that came in 2019 in Alabama. Certainly an issue they're hoping will energize voters to support them given the price of gas is so high. And then, of course, we're hearing discussions about social issues here in the state, Tim James especially focusing on those issues, and everyone trying to really win over, especially the Trump supporters that we've talked about.
What role does the former president play in a statewide election like this? It's a governor's race, but his endorsement, what does that look like in a race?
Sure. So Governor Ivey and President Trump have in the past seen things a little bit differently, although Governor Ivey is clear to show that she's very supportive of the issues that not just Donald Trump supports, but that his voters support. And so I think she sees that especially important in a primary because a lot of people don't show up to vote. So going after the people who are energized by politics, who are supportive of the Trump administration, are really people she thinks she can get to show up to vote.
I know we talked about the runoff just a few moments ago, but just kind of your final thoughts. Do you think this will go to a runoff, or you think that the governor will walk away with the nomination here at the end of May?
I think as of right now, the governor will walk away with the nomination in May. A lot can happen, of course. President Trump endorsing a different candidate than Governor Ivey would certainly change things up. But right now, I think she probably has it in the bag without a runoff.
All right, a lot to get to. And of course, we're going to keep you covered leading up to the election. We've got you covered here and in the commitment section of the WVTM 13 app. Dr. Grayson, thank you so much for stopping by again today.
Thanks for having me.